All right, what's up, guys? So we're moving on to the green cards. Moving on to the green cards for OP03. I noticed after watching the video last, I kept saying 5 out of 5 on some of these. I always mean out of 10. I always grade these out of 10. So if I ever say 5 out of 5 on accident, I'm sorry. I mean 5 out of 10. And it was usually, I think every time I said it in the last video, I was referring to a vanilla, just like this one, that was just 5 out of 10. So going right into that, my apologies, and I'll try and make the mental note to not do that anymore. But here we go. Let's see if we can fix it right away. Alvida, 1 cost, green character, 3,000 power, 1,000 counter, East Blue, Alvida Pirates type. This is a vanilla character, a 5 out of 10. As in, for its cost, it is just exactly what it's meant to be. Right? This is what they base... I think this is how they balance the game. If something is a 1 cost, it's going to have, +2 and then times 1,000. That's the formula they use, right? Whatever the cost is, you add 2. So in this case, it'll be 3, right? 1 plus 2 is 3, and then you multiply that by 1,000, and that's their power. Like, that's their little algorithm. And then they always have a 1,000 counter. And then from there, they make, adjustments based on that. So anyway, so here's Alvida. She is just a 5 out of 10. Okay. We got Jin or Gin. He is a 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1,000 counter, green color, East Blue, Krieg Pirates character. His effect is on play. If your leader has the East Blue type, excuse me, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. Effect on play. Yeah, if your leader has the East Blue type, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So, that's... I would give this probably an 8 out of 10. Just for what it's a 4/5, right? This is like the same idea as like a Borsellino, but instead of being a defender, it has, it's this East Blue ability. It's got the 1,000 counter. This is a nice 4-drop, and again, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters. Now you can swing in with your leader, which, the green leader that I think this goes with is the Kuro guy, right? Yeah, Kuro. So he's an East Blue and he can just smash in. So there you go. Now, Arlong can also be used with it, but yeah, not too bad, right? Not too bad. I would say this is probably a 7.5 out of 10. I don't want to give it too high of a score because it is just a 4 or 5 and the ability doesn't break anything, but this is solid. This is a solid card. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, on play, yeah, that is pretty solid. Okay, here's I guess they decided this card's really good, to print a parallel of them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how that works, but it is a rare card, so maybe it is pretty solid, meant to be really, really good, Okay. Krieg. We got a 6 cost, 7,000 power, green color, East Blue, Krieg Pirates, 0 counters. So let's see this effect. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, KO up to 2 of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 4 or less. So that goes directly with our guy Gin here. On turn 10, you can just combo him, it looks like. You just go turn 4, not turn 10, when you have 10 Dawn, When you have 10 Dawn, you just play this guy. If your leader is East Blue, rest up to 2 of your opponents with a cost of 4 or less, and then you play this guy, and you KO both of them. That seems like a nice little combo where now you have a 4/5 on the board and a 6/7 on the board. Very solid. And then he also has the additional effect, Dawn times 1. This character gains double attack. So now going forward, you're having to worry about a double attack. This card seems awesome. And it's going to be in a green deck where you can tap stuff down very easily. I'll give this a 9 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10, but maybe I should. I don't know. It's up there. This seems like an extremely solid card. I'll give it an 8. It's at least an 8 out of 10 and like for the card itself, right? And I got to always specify. The meta matters, but we're talking about the card itself, right? Because here the thing about meta is it changes, right? The meta changes with each set, and when someone comes up with a new combo, when someone comes out with a new deck. So this card, for what it is, you're getting a lot for 6. You're getting a double striker. You're getting a 7K. You're getting on-board KO effects. I mean, this is at least a 9 out of 10. I got to go with a 9 out of 10. Okay, and this is the parallel version. Very nice. I actually like the normal art better than this one. I like this art better than I like this art, but that's just preference, right? That's just me. Okay, now at Karubi, 4 cost, 3,000 power. Okay, we're going backwards in power, so the effect should be really strong. 1,000 counter, color green. Fishman, East Blue, Arlong Pirates character. On play, if your leader has the East Blue type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters. Wow. So I mean, he just taps down anyone. He can rest any one character on play, and he has trigger. Play this card. Okay. Wow. That is really good. This is one of those cards where I wish they would even. I wish they would have doubled down with this card. I wish they had made it a 4 cost, 0 power plus 2, and then a 2,000 counter, and then all this. Then it would be a 10 out of 10, I guess. But you know, this now contributes directly to Kuro's ability, right? So now, you know, your leader's East Blue, right? And this guy's not going to be swinging realistically, so you can just use him to rest to trigger your Kuro's ability. This is solid. This is I would give this a 7.5 out of 10, because by himself he's nothing crazy. He's just tapping a character down, which could win you the game on that trigger, by the way. That could win you the game on a trigger like that, because it can rest any character, not a leader, but any character. So I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10, maybe on the lines of 8. Okay, Sham. This is a 3 cost, 4,000 power, East Blue, Black Cat Pirates, 1,000 counter. On play, if your leader has the East Blue type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. And if you don't have Buki, play up to 1 Buki from your hand. Let's see, is that the next card? We'll have to look for that, right? We'll have to find it. Excuse me. So if we find Bucky, Bucci, however you say this guy's name, if we find him, we'll come back to this card and try and see how it works. But on play, if your leader has that, rest up one of your opponent's characters costs 2 or less. If you don't have that guy, play up to 1 from your hand. So it seems like a good tempo swing. Now you've got 2 guys to rest with your Kuro's ability, you know, so this seems like it's right on par for the course. I give this above average, you know, for what it's meant to be as a 7 out of 10. 6.5 to 7 out of 10 because it does rest. We'll do 6.5 because it's only a 2 or less. Okay, Django, 5 cost, 6,000 power, no counter, green, East Blue, Black Cat Pirates character. Effect, on play, choose one. Okay, so you get to choose here. Set up to one of your East Blue type leader or character cards with a cost of 6 or less as active. So leader or character cards with a cost of 6 or less as active. That's very nice. That seems really good. Rest this character and up to one of your opponent's characters. So this guy has a lot of utility. This is a nice 5-drop. This, you can rest somebody that you need to eliminate, right? That you need to battle with and take out. So I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. Like, this is up there. This is a well above average. It doesn't have the. This is well above the average card in that, except for the fact that it doesn't have a 1,000 counter. But you know, this is a card you'd probably want to run like 2 in your deck. You know, you just want to see like one a game. You know, but I don't know. Maybe you'd want to see more. It depends. But I think this is a solid card. Very solid. It is just lacking a counter, so I go 7.5. Chew. This guy's name is Chew. Cost 4. Excuse me. Power 3,000. Okay, again, so it's going backwards. 1,000 counter, color green. He's a Fishman, East Blue, Arlong Pirates with the effect on play. KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 4 or less. Trigger, play this card. Okay, so here's another play this card ability. I'm assuming this is meant, the trigger play this card stuff is probably meant more for the Arlong Pirate stuff where you can, you know, where you got the yellow life manipulation, but I could be wrong. These are just solid triggers. You're getting a free 3K. It is a 1,000 counter. It does have a good effect. I mean, this is like an 8 out of 10. Like in this kind of deck, it's probably an 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10. I don't know, because it's just a solid card. This is, you know, it's not quite the same, but this is sort of like Green's version of Kobe in a way, right? Because, you know, X Drake is more of a, what is he, like a 5 cost? Now he's like a 5 cost 6K with a 1K counter, but still he KOs a 5 or less that's rested, I believe. This guy is a 4-drop that KOs a 4 or less and has trigger play this card, has the counter. He's just a little weak once he hits the board. So he has that nice effect, but then he's a little bit weak after he's down. But he is East Blue, so I mean, I guess tapping him down with your leader's ability, you get extra mileage out of it. So this is I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10 or an 8.5 out of 10, maybe even a 9. I don't know. I'll be safe and go with an 8 out of 10. Very solid card for East Blue. Nami, 2 cost, 2,000 power, green character card. East Blue, Arlong Pirates, 1,000 counter. Trigger play this card. Sorry, I skipped the effect, but trigger play this card again. All right, on play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 green. 1 green East Blue, that sounds funny, type card other than Nami and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, so search for anything other than Nami and add it to your hand. You know, this is solid. This is a searcher. This is a 2-drop 2K searcher with 1,000 with a 1,000 counter, but it does have trigger play this card. Because I was gonna say, I think usually you're looking at a one costed 2,000 power 1,000 counter top 5 searcher, but this one does have the trigger effect as well. Solid. This is solid. You know, I give this a 7 out of 10. 7.5 maybe, because the trigger, I guess in certain decks maybe this is an 8. I'm gonna go 7.5. We'll keep it at 7.5 out of 10. Pearl. This is a 2 costed 2,000 power green character. East Blue Krieg Pirates, 1,000 counter blocker. This is just a 2/2/1 blocker. This is your average blocker. This is a 5 out of 10. Very, very set average, just like the others. Okay, Buggy is a 3 costed 5,000 power green character with East Blue and Buggy Pirates type. This character cannot be KO'd in battle by slash attribute cards. I think we had the same thing in the red, in the red cards, didn't we? 3/5 is on par. Like, this is fine. It has that extra effect on there. I'd rather have the counter on it, though, honestly. So I'm going to put this at a 5. I'm honestly going to put it at a 4.5, a 4 out of 10. I'm going to go 4 out of 10 with this because it does not have a counter, and I could get any 3-drop with 5,000 power with a counter. And this ability, how often is that going to come into play? I don't know. Maybe it's really strong in the next meta. Who knows? All right. Hatchan. He is a 4-costed 4,000 power green character with a 2,000 counter and a trigger. If your leader has the East Blue type, play this card. And then he is a Fishman, East Blue, Arlong Pirates. So it's a 2,000 counter. I'm immediately going to at least a 7 with it because it's playable in any deck. It's probably a 7.5. It's playable in any green deck. But it's a 4 cost 4,000 with a trigger. Play this card with no downside. You don't have to discard or return Dawn or anything. This is a solid counter here. I'm gonna go with an 8 because of that trigger to play it. So no, actually, maybe an 8.5. I'll put it at 8.5 because, you know, one of the worst things about a 2K counter is when you get it off your life pool and it's too late to save for that turn. Well, this guy is a 2,000 counter, and then if you do rip him off the top, oh, no problem. Just put him right into play. And now you have a 4,000 body they have to deal with next turn, right? Or that they might want to remove this turn, right? It's another thing for them to worry about. I'll put this at an 8. 8 out of 10. Solid. All right, here's that Bucky guy, or Buki, or whatever his name is. He's a 4/5, 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1,000 counter, green character, East Blue, Black Cat Pirates, on play, KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 2 or less. Okay, and then the other guy, let's go back real quick, rested a guy that was 2 or less, correct? On play, if your leader has the East Blue type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. And if you don't have the guy Buki or Bucky, whatever, play up to 1 Bucky from your hand. Buki. Man, I'm sorry, I don't know these names, guys. So play up to 1 from your hand. So you're playing this guy on turn 3, right, for a 4K cost or a 4K power, and then you're getting a 4 cost 5K as well that kills the guy you just dealt with. Yeah, those seem really good. Those seem like a nice combo. And do they both have 1K counters? Yeah, they both have 1,000 counters, man. Sorry, guys. Sorry I'm going through this like this, but seems really good. Seems really solid. I'll say those together are easily a 7.5 out of 10. They're, like, together, they go very well. Very good tempo swing. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. And they're East Blue, so now you can use the leader's ability with it. Yeah, this is solid. Those are 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I can't really decide. I'm actually going to go 8 out of 10. We'll go 8 out of 10 with them together. The card by itself, though, still has a KO effect, has the counter. It's a 4/5. I give it a give it a 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Together they go up a little bit. Momu or Momo, Mumu, who knows? This is a 2-costed, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, green character, animal, East Blue, vanilla. This is a 5 out of 10. Okay, out of the bag. Okay, out of the bag is a 3-costed green, East Blue, Black Pirates event card with a main effect. You may rest one of your East Blue type characters to set up to one of your Kuro cards as active. Excuse me. Excuse me. You may rest one of your East Blue type characters set up to one of your Kuro cards as active. So your leader. So for 3, with this event, you're getting the effect of the Kuro without having to rest the extra guy. Okay, kind of mediocre in my opinion. Let's see the trigger. K up to one of your opponent's rested characters with the cost of 3. Okay, that's nice. K up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. That's a nice trigger. It might not hit every time, but it's a decent trigger. This card is extremely average for an event. With the Kuro deck, if I'm not mistaken, can't he just do this ability, but it requires 2 of your guys instead of just 1? So I don't know. I think this is probably a 4 out of 10, maybe a 3.5 out of 10. I'm not a huge fan of this card, to be honest. I don't think it's bad, but I definitely don't think it's good. I think it's just, it's about the same as the effect as that the leader has. I get a 4.5 out of 10. Let me just make sure, guys. I'm sorry. I know this isn't an orthodox way to do one of these videos, but we got to take a look real quick to make sure we're not crazy. Activate main, pay 3. You may rest 2 of your East Blue type characters. Set this leader as active and rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So you don't even get the additional effect of doing that with the of resting one of their characters for the same cost. So you're removing one of the characters you have to tap one of their characters. Yeah, I'm just going to go with, this is just a 4 out of 10. This is a 4 out of 10 for me. The trigger is kind of the only thing that saves it. Maybe puts it at a 4.5. Next. Tooth Attack. 1-costed green event, Fishman, East Blue, Arlong Pirates. Effect. You may rest one of your East Blue type characters. KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. Trigger. Play up to 1 character card with a cost of 4 or less and a trigger from your hand. So you're not playing 2 cards, right? You're playing a character that costs 4 or less that has a trigger on it from your hand. Okay, I mean, yeah, this is probably just a 5 out of 10, just a very average card for what it's supposed to do. If you get it off the trigger, you get to grab a guy in your hand that's a trigger that's 4 or less and throw him on the board. The main effect, you can KO something that's 3 costs or less. Yeah, it is only 1. So I mean, yeah, I'm going to put out a 5.5 out of 10. Deathly Poison Gas Bomb. Deathly Poison Gas Bomb costs 1 green event. East Blue Krieg Pirates main, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. And the triggers rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So this is a good way to tap down the boards that spread wide. The boards that the decks that fill up the board. It's 1 cost for this effect. This is probably about like an 8 out of 10. This is just a solid little effect here. 7.5 out of 10 maybe. Rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. It's a main. This is fine. Yeah, I think this card's fine. Nothing crazy though. It doesn't break anything. Maybe I'm overshooting it. Maybe it's just like a 6 out of 10. I don't know. Maybe it is just an average event. you know, but it is rare rated, which I try not to look at that. But whenever I'm struggling with the ratings, I see what they're trying to go with, and they put this at a rare, so maybe this is closer to a 7.5. I'll get a 7.5 out of 10. 1/2 Django. This is a 1-cost green event. East Blue, Black Cat Pirates. Effect: rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. Okay, then up to one of your characters gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less on the trigger. This is a 4 out of 10. Or a 3.5 out of 10, maybe. Yeah, we'll go 3.5 out of 10. I'm not a huge fan of this, to be honest. All right, then we get into the blue stuff next time. Well, guys, green was interesting. I think it had a lot of very average cards with only a few really, really strong cards. And I probably, at the end of the last video, at the end of the red video, what I should have done was kind of given a summary, talking about what I thought was the best. But going forward now, you know, I'm learning a lot still doing this. So going forward, I'll definitely do a summary at the end of each one. These green cards seem good. They seem very good. Just they don't seem broken, right? But we'll see. We'll see. You know, only time will tell. But I do think that overall, I will go back a little bit here real quick and go to the one card that I think seems extremely good. Whoops. Well, it's both of them. It's this guy, Jin into Krieg, who, if you play them with 10 Dawn open, you just tap 2 down, you destroy both of them, and now you have this monster on the. You have these 2 monsters on the board still, really. But anyway, it seemed like green got some decent stuff, just nothing too crazy. But all right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that. As always, you know, if you liked the video, please help me out and hit a like, subscribe, whatever. Tell your friends to come watch it, whatever you feel like doing. But don't feel obligated either. I just enjoy, no matter who watches these videos, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I just enjoy card games, and I enjoy One Piece in particular right now more than any of the others. So, all right, hope y'all enjoyed. And next time we'll be doing the blue cards. All right, peace.